Hi guys, you can interact me over the chat, please. Am I audible to you guys properly? So I welcome you all, our prospective medical writers. Welcome to the field of medical writing. I am Dr. Manisha Rastogi. I am a medical writer with an experience of maybe more than 8 years. I have worked for a couple of organizations in the full-time mode as well as in the freelance mode also. I have started my career as a research scientist in a CRO. And in terms of the medical writing perspectives, my major role was to prepare the preclinical study reports apart from conducting the experiments. Once I have done with my job with a CRO, I have changed my field and went to the academic side because I was interested in doing lots and lots of the original research. There, my main characteristic or main mode job responsibility, as you guys might all be aware, many of you, to make the, to conduct the studies, to perform the experiments, to write grant proposals, to write publications, to write lots and lots of the patents. So this was also always the part of my job. Apart from this full-time job, I have also been into the lots of freelance medical writing. In the freelance medical writing, I was working with the clients related to the US and UK based countries, and I used to do couple of projects. I have done lots and lots of projects, which includes narrative writing, grant proposal writing, and then regulatory writings, the documents related to the clinical study reports, then the meta-analysis and systematic reviews. So this is a very, small glimpse of my professional expertise. And we are here together to understand and to have a discussion of the perspectives relate to the medical writing. So I hope, guys, that you enjoy this session. You will be the part of our Henry Harvin team, and let's hope for the best, guys. Okay. You can always write to me, guys, any of your queries in the chat session. You will get all your answers in the chat session. Okay. So I'm starting my session, guys, as we are here as Henry Harvin representative. I am the main trainer for the Henry Harvin that used to give the trainings with respect to the medical writing course and medical writing as a career. As a career in a medical writing, we have lots and lots of the scope. You can find the jobs and options in an array of NICs like CROs, that means contract research organizations, BPOs, and the KPOs. So contract research organizations, there are lots and lots of the CROs, BPOs, and KPOs that are specifically taking the projects from the industry and fulfilling their demands. See, we all know that that this drug development industry, it involves lots and lots of the effort, and everything cannot be performed in a single night. Okay, so to fulfill the demands of the FDA, to fulfill the demands of the patents, we need to conduct a numerous amounts of the experiments. So wherever there will be the experiments, it will be simultaneously associated with the lots and lots of the report preparations, protocol preparations, and the well-structured formats of writing. Now here comes the role of a medical writer. what the industries used to do, they used to perform their experiments in a slots. One slot they will be assigning to a third party agency, and actually these are the requirements of the FDA also, because we need to get the data out of the 2 to 3 GLP compliance facilities. Now all the GLP compliance labs, they do recruit the medical writers, because each and every experiment has to be reported based upon the guidelines as proposed by the FDA. So here, the medical writing jobs, we have a huge scope for the medical writing when you comes to the industry. Then there, the second aspect for the medical writing, it comes towards the journalism, that we called it as the sometimes medical journalism, medical communication services. I will be dealing with all the scopes of the medical writing, where the medical writings can find the place in this small word. There are lots and lots of the place a medical writer can see itself, and there are lots and lots of the differences in the medical writing, right? So that you cannot be at everywhere. You have to in this medical writing, you need to pick one zone, okay, and based upon your eligibility, based upon your flair, based upon your understanding, you need to decide that which zone is actually you are fit into, which zone is your cup of tea. So medical writing, it comprises of huge things. It is a very intense job, first of all, guys, I must say, because there are several capabilities, several, the morals of a medical writer that have to be reflected in each and every document. So I am moving ahead. First of all, let us discuss with the scope of medical writing. The scope of medical writing, medical writers through their contributions are recognized as an important part of evolving healthcare and pharmaceutical industry. The another scope for medical writing is growing, and challenges needs to be eliminated. It is a pretty young industry that continues to develop and can mature completely with proper trainings, assessments, and nurturing. Medical writers, they have to prepare the scientific and the regulatory documents to communicate medical or scientific information to various stakeholders. Medical writers prepare documents required for regulatory approval, presentations, posters, newsletters, manuscripts, abstracts, journal articles, as we cumulatively call it as the publication writing. So I will be telling you these things a little more. I will be discussing the scope of medical writing, that where these medical writers are recruited, what are the job responsibilities of a medical writer, and what is the job requirement of a medical writer. So all this we will be discussing in just a couple of minutes, guys. So let me start with that. What are the roles that the industry guys are offering? They, you can be based upon your experience, based upon your qualifications. You can start with a trainee medical writer, and then you can go with to the senior medical writer level. If you are joining the regulatory medical writing, then you will be assigned as regulatory medical writer. Then medical writer analyst, what the medical writer analyst supposed to do? They have to abstract the data. You have to find out lots and lots of database. You have to do lots and lots of the critical analysis, and then you need to prepare the critically appraised reports. Another one is associate medical writer, which this level comes after your trainee medical writer. Once you have starting your career as a fresher, you will be assigned as a trainee medical writer. Then you will be upgraded to the associate medical writer, and then finally to the senior medical writer. Apart from that, there are huge opportunities as a freelance medical writer. Trust me, guys, I have done lots and lots of the projects related to the freelance, and those who are not in the position to go for a full-time, 9 to 10, because we say it's a 9 to 5 job, but every job is now has lots and lots of the demands, and it is, completely no time is there. So if you want to if you want to earn from the home, and then look after with your family in case of the females, of course, so you can also opt for the opportunity of a freelance medical writer. Okay. Now, getting started with Henry Harvin. Why you should take this Henry Harvin course? Because you can evaluate the course curriculum of the Henry Harvin with the contemporary things. We are only targeting the specific medical writing. We have created the modules the way then, so that you will pinpoint and you will understand the things that are exactly required for the medical writing. So before talking about the Henry Harvin, it is a company that is started in 2013 and is based in San Francisco, California. It is a competency development organization that offers focused learning solution with regard to the diverse audience, from individuals to the academic basis, and it has its presence in India, in Sri Lanka, in San Francisco and Beijing, and it is ever expanding, guys. So they have Henry Harvin. They have delivered instructor-led trainings to the client base of more than 30,000 learners. They are delivering. We all are delivering the self-paced training to a client base of 2 lakhs plus learners. We are providing 80 plus courses. We have associations and collaborations with 150 plus corporates, as well as we have collaborations with 80 plus colleges all across India, and we are expanding in the other countries. We have the course locations. So now I'm more interested towards talking for the course concepts and the structure that we are offering for the medical writing. The medical writing course has been divided into a 16 hours course, and it has been beautifully segregated into 7 modules. So I'll give you the glimpse that what all will be discussed in each and every module. The first module is an interactive module where we basically interact with the students, because as a human we have to, we are spending upcoming of 16 hours together, and we get to know about each other, and more interestingly, we talk the basic details, and in very descriptive manner we introduce you the medical writing field. Once we are done with the introduction to the medical writing, we make you understand the different fields in the medical writing, and a glimpse of that I am going to tell you in this interactive session, in this webinar also, that where the medical writers can fit themselves in the industry, in this entire world, in this entire healthcare sector, right? So first module is a basic introduction to the medical writing, and then from the module second, we will be very pinpointed. We will be talking about the lots and lots about the scientific writing. Now, scientific writing, what do we mean with the scientific writing is, we will be telling you the core research writing in this type of the module. I will be talking more about the scientific reviews, the different types of the reviews that we can write that is in demand by the medical writing or the healthcare industry. We have lots and lots of sessions related to the scientific news, how you can create the magazine news articles, how you can create the blogs for the healthcare sector, what are the requirements, what are the format, and how to will make you practice each and every session, each and every type of the writing. So in the scientific writing module, in this module, we will be starting from the medical journalism, that is from writing about the scientific news, the scientific blogs, the promotional literature, preparation of the brochures, and then we will be slowly moving towards the intense type of the research writing, where we will be talking about the narrative reviews, the umbrella reviews, the systematic reviews, the narrative and the scoping reviews, and how these reviews are different from each other, what is the format for writing reviews, what is the methodology for writing such reviews. We will be discussing these aspects in the scientific writing. Then, as we know that medical writing, it is, I can say that 50 to 60% of the medical writing is focused towards the drug development industry. So that is why we have we have created the module and we have aligned it towards the drug development process, and lots of we will be we will be taking the various aspects related to the clinical research as well. So in the drug development process in module 3, we will be talking lots about what are the procedure for the drug development, and with a specific reference to the medical writing. We just don't go on a bookish level that okay, drug development, everybody might have you can get lots and lots of literature, but as a medical writer you need to understand the drug development process and your role at each and every stage of the drug development. Then we will be taking out the specific stages. I will be talking in the module 4 about preclinical research and how to prepare the documents related to the preclinical research. Preclinical research, it contains lots and lots of in vitro and in vivo research, but this research, there is complete life cycle. The submissions of the documents during your entire clinical phase and your entire clinical development process, it's a complete cycle of documents. So the role of preclinical documents, it starts from the stage 1 and it will come to the last stage as well. So how the variations comes in these preclinical research documents, we will be discussing a lot about this in module 4. Once we are done with our preclinical research writing, I will be telling you about the medical writing with respect to the clinical trials. When clinical trials will be conducted, during that stage, what are the documents needed? What are the format of those documents? What guidelines are required? And how to create documents related to that field? That means during the conduct of the clinical trials. We will be discussing that in our module 5. And finally, in our module 6, we will be talking about medical writing in the post-marketing phase. Once the drug has gone to the market, then again that post-marketing surveillance, we sometimes called it pharmacovigilance also. It's a part of the post-marketing phase. So what kind of documents FDA recommends that you have to submit the periodic reports, how to create those periodic reports, those things are covered in the module 6. So until you're 95%, I must say, we will be talking a lots and lots about only for the documents. What documents are needed, what are the guidelines required for prepare those documents, and we will be sharing you the samples and templates and the practice sessions related with respect to the creation of such documents. And finally, last but not the least, I will be talking about the guidelines to publish the clinical data. Once the drug is in market, all clinical trials, it has to go to the public platform, and those public platform, there are lots and lots of reporting guidelines available to publish different type of the data. If it is a randomized control trial, if it is a non-randomized control trial, or if it is a observational study, a retrospective, a prospective, and a cohort studies, cross-sectional studies. Every study has its own format to be prepared for publication. Once all the studies are finished with the clinical trials, the drug is into the marketing phase, it has been approval phase with the FDAs. But the final thing that keeps, that is, you can say, the final destination is ultimately the publication of such clinical studies. So all the medical writing companies, but that is why now there are lots and lots of KPOs and CROs are available, because of the intensity of the documents, the voluminous nature of the document. It is not absolutely, possible for any kind of a drug development industry to complete it at its own Nike or at its own room. That's why the important and thing is that they started outsourcing such type of the writing work, and then such type of outsourcing creates lots and lots of opportunities for the medical writers like us. That is why I completely believe that the Henry Harvin Education Medical Writing course will give you the most comprehensive overview of medical writing related to all aspects, not just related to the drug development. Will make you understand that if you are interested towards more towards the creative form of the writing, not the very intense job, then also you have plenty of opportunities related to the medical writing. So this is the brief overview, guys, that what we actually offer during our medical writing course, and I think it's pretty comprehensive. Now, as I said, that I will be giving you the glimpse about medical writing and what the medical writers have to do. What is the ultimate requirement to be a medical writer? All these aspects I will be telling you now. So, if I have to define a medical writing, it is the creation of a well-structured and scientifically accurate documents for the healthcare sector. So, within this line, there are many terms that needs to be explained. That means what to be explained? What do we mean by a healthcare sector? What do we mean by a scientifically accurate document? And what do we mean by the well-structured document? So these are the huge things that we will be discussing in our introductory module as well. So first, let's talk about the scope of the medical writing. So as you can see that the scope of medical writing is huge. If you are into a pharmaceutical company, like if you are working for any company, they will be performing lots and lots of experiments. So there, what the medical writers have to do, they have to start with the preparation of the clinical trial protocols. When they are done with the writing of the protocols along with the entire team, see, team will be telling them that, okay, but you have to submit a protocol in the FDA, and for submission, only a medical writer can make you understand what is the actual essential form that has to be highlighted, how much segmented, how much segregated, and how much structured the protocol has to be created in order to submit it to the FDA for approval. So once you are done with your protocol writing, other aspects of the medical writing, it includes the study reports. Whatever is the outcome of these studies, you have to create the document, you have to prepare the reports. Then if you are the part of the sales or the marketing team, because once all the pharmaceutical industries, they have developed some of the products, it has to reach to the market, it has to reach for the promotion. So there also the scientific concepts are very much part of the promotional documents. So that scientific accurate documents are to be created with lots and lots of creativity in case of the sales and the marketing field. We sometimes called it as the medico marketing. So if you are interested, if you have lots and lots of creativity, guys, you know how to present beautifully, how to give the content, the accurate content, but it should be easy to understand. It should be made for the general audience. Then you should opt for the medico marketing field. It's a very evolving field, guys. You have to prepare lots of the promotional material. You have to prepare lots and lots of the handouts, brochures, but everything contains the scientifically accurate information that has to be ensured by a medical writer. There is certain code of ethics for the medical writer that have been designated, designed by the lots and lots of the reputed medical writing organizations worldwide. And the way the doctors take the oath before practicing, the medical writers have a self oath for themselves before delivering the scientific content. So that is why we called it as the code of conduct for the medical writers, and we will be explaining it in detail when you guys will join me for the course. So anyhow, so the first thing that you can very well see, the application or the destination where you can see yourself is the pharmaceutical and the biotechnological, and lot of the protein based companies. Everywhere you can be absorbed as a medical writer. Then the second one is the contract research organization. As I already told you guys that these days the contract research organizations are in the boom, and India is the agency where you can see the contract research organizations are at the uprise. Now, though, you can see TCS, they do have a medical writing agent. They are providing you, the TCS is providing the consultancy for medical writing. Then Cognizant is there. Then IBM is there. Then Indigene is there. I'm just telling you the reputed, the most reputed ones. And if you can see a lots and lots of the CROs that are upcoming, that are already established in the field of the medical writing. So what these CROs will do, they will be getting the lots and lots of the data from the various pharmaceutical organizations worldwide, not from a single country. They will be getting the projects from the multiple countries where drug development, is at the boom. Those are the leaders for the drug development, but they get their writing things, outsourced in the form of a contract research organization. So those people, they need what they are looking for as a medical writer. You have to be very, you have to be very much skilled with relate to the in case of the intense medical writing. What do I mean with intense medical writing? I mean you should have the knowledge for the databases. You should have the knowledge for the data abstraction. You should have the knowledge for the data synthesis, how to synthesize the data based upon the available reviews. And then you have to perform lots and lots of the critical analysis. You should have the knowledge of the tools required for critically appraising the data, and then only you can create the documents. You can identify the scientific gaps available, and you can get lots and lots of the project. So this is the intense, I must say, the most intense forms of the medical writing. And such medical writers are of highly they comes in the highly paid jobs. I have seen the packages. They are starting from 20 lakhs and straight away more than that. So these type of the packages, they belongs to such type of the intense writing. Then other forms of, there are lots and lots of CROs. There are a couple of CROs who are offering services for the medico marketing. Now medico marketing, you should have the 50% of the creativity, as well as you have to create lots and lots of the video scripts. You have to create plenty of the brochures. It has to be very much informative. It has to be very much visually impressive. So if you find yourself a creative person, you can very well opt for the medical marketing field as well. Now this medical publication industry, I must say that this is one of the traditional industry and one of the ancient industry, I must say, because since we have started our learning, when we have started our post graduation and the beyond studies, have seen also we will be in the road to publish lots and lots of our research data, or lots and lots of the research outcomes. But in the medical publication industry, if you are the part, you can be a editor, you can be a reviewer, or you can be the project manager. This is the type of positions medical publication industries are offering. Now journals, every day a new journal is launched, and already there is plenty of the journals are available. Those journals are themselves offering the services as authorship services. You can get your manuscript edited from them. So all these things are done by the medical writers. So if you want to to join that publication industry, you have lots and loads of work to be there. And finally, you can see the medical journalism. Journalism, there are lots and lots of the e-newsletters that have been developed on the daily basis. We have lots and lots of the scientific magazines, the good magazines like India Bioscience is there, then Times of India, and these types of the reports also, Hindustan Times, they keep on publishing the scientific articles, the magazine-based articles intended towards the reading of the general audience. So if you want to be in that field, medical journalism, there are certain laws, there are certain rules to write such articles to make them informative. I'll tell you those things, that what are the details required to prepare the scientific news and scientific articles. It is far more different from other forms of the writing. So this field is again the part of medical journalism. See what happens, that a English based person, usually the people who goes in the journalism, they are in masters in journalism, but certainly they cannot understand the intensity and the in-depth nature of the medical science. They cannot understand those big terms, how to interpret those terms for the layman person. That is why such a kind of, we call them as article writers, blog writers, or we call them as the healthcare writers. So this is another form of the medical writing, which comes in the field of medical journalism. Next is the healthcare organizations and institutions. Healthcare, every hospital, you can say that this is a research-based hospital. Then they will be recruiting the medical writers to get the patient information, to summarize the patient information, and the clinical trials also most of the time runs in these hospitals only, in collaboration with the pharmaceutical companies. So that's why the hospital organizations are also a good place for medical writers. In fact, the health insurance companies also, they recruit the back end writers, and those back end writers, you have to verify the claims as per the their insurance policies. You have to verify the medical terminologies, and then you have to derive the claim, you have to approve the claim. So these are some of the other aspects that can be that also associates with the medical writing field. Then the health promotion content, again, clinical research publications, it is just the repetition, but the job profile remains the same, platform differs. You are doing it for a medical research organization, you are doing it for a pharmaceutical company, you are doing it for for the private clinics. So all these things, because doctors don't have time. We all know that how busy the physicians are. They don't have the time, and either they don't have the skills also. They can prescribe, they can scribble the prescription, but definitely to collect the data, to justify the data, and to present the data, they need the help of the medical writers. So the medical writer community, I can say, it is parallelly working with the clinicians day and night to generate the document. See, that's why India, it's booming. We have lots and lots of data, but most of the time, either it is the data generated is not up to the line with the guidelines required for the publishing. That's why it just remains, just piled up, and then it just get dumped. So then there, if we start giving our services as a medical writer, agencies, lots and lots of KPOs and BPOs, they are taking the work from the private clinics as well. And because everyone has to go for a continuous medical education, we called it as the CMEs. But for the CMEs, continuing medical education, they have to show their research abilities. They do have the abilities, but for writing, they definitely need the medical writers. They don't have time to write. That is why we medical writers are there to help them. So if you have a degree in biological domain, in any of the biological domain, you have the skill to quickly understand the medical terms. You can be the part of this medical writing industry. And then again, you can see lots and lots of websites, they are publishing, this, what is the benefits of curcumin, what are the benefits of taking this, or if we are taking any of the medicine, we just quickly Google it and then find out the white papers related to that medicine. So all those these things, they all are designed by the medical writers only. There is another word of medical writing which is slightly different but very much associated, is the medical device writing. The medical devices, the entire medical fraternity, it is, I can say, it is of no, it is non-functional if there is no medical device. They need for small diagnostics, they need the medical device for these things. So those type of medical device diagnostic industries do have their own piles of data, do have their own life cycle of documents. They do have to follow the FDA guidelines. So if you are into the field of biomedical engineering or related to the field of biomedical sciences, then you can be a great fit for the medical device writing as well, which contains all the regulatory form of writing, all the medical marketing forms of writing, all the, all the data related writing, which is involved with the drugs as well. So I think, guys, you can see that how huge is the field of medical writing, from small to the intense form of medical writing. There is great scope, and trust me, the education and the healthcare sector, this is always going to boom every time. It is not going to come down anytime, right? So medical writing, if you are taking the medical writing, if you are upgrading yourself as a medical writer, certainly you will be you will be, absorbed, you will be skilled, and you will get something in this world of your own. So what is the requirement of a medical writer? As of like, for if you say, if you want to be a radio, if you want to be to operate any instrument, you have to be a biomedical engineer. If you want this, then you have to. There is for each and every industry, there is certain, there is certain eligibility criteria. Every time there is a certain eligibility criteria. But for medical writing, as of now, no one has set any guidelines for the medical, to be a medical writer. But there is a self-designed guidelines. That first thing is that you should, if you have a degree related to the field of life sciences, related to the field of biomedical sciences, or anything related to the biological domain, I must say, because then only you can intensely understood the terms that are, you can be easily, you can easily understand the medical dictionary terms, I must say. What is ischemia, thrombosis, and lots of the medical terminologies that certainly an English person, degree person with a degree in English, they cannot interpret or understand. So first thing, or the foremost requirement, is you should have a degree in case of biological, in the case of in any of the biological domain. Second one is you should have the flair to write. You should have the skills. If you don't have, then certainly you have to develop that flair of writing. You should have the expertise for literature referencing, literature search, and to abstract the pinpoint information that is needed for the literature search. We have some, if you type a single word in a database, suppose if I type a cardiovascular disorder, I may get some 2 lakhs of the papers that have been published related to the cardiovascular disorder. So, but to get what is exact requirement, what we exactly looking for to get to, first of all, we need to prepare a very good research question. Once we are done with the research question, then there is an appropriate methodology to get the research answer of that question. So these needs intense, skills and intense understanding about the subject, and sometimes inherent ability to find the exact information. So that's what I call the second requirement is the literature and referencing searching skills. You have to get the data, you have to interpret that data. All these things you should have, or you have, if you want to be a medical writer, then you certainly have to develop. Next one is the language and grammar, because absolutely this is very much essential, because most of the time 95% of the documents that is rotated in this entire world is in English. So you should have a good English, you should have good English skills, grammar skills, punctuations that makes your document, well structured and easy to understood. So the second important aspect is once you are done with the scientific term. So what I must say, I should segregate it into the different points. First thing is the science. First comes the science, because if you are not able to get the science in place, you cannot be a medical writer. Second comes the English skills, which you can slowly develop. If you have, that's good. If you don't have, then by practicing, you can just get it in 2 to 3 documents. Then other aspect that is needed for the medical, that is needed for a medical medical writer is the understanding of ethical and legal issues. See, if you are working as a freelance medical writer, then you have to sign lots and lots of agreements. You cannot disclose the data. You cannot use that data for your own purpose. And the highly confidential things are there. But this is applicable to the other company jobs as well, because you can yourself understand that the healthcare sector is all about huge investment. The generation of data, they need lots and lots of facilities, lots and lots of the investment. So they have to go with the data protection policies a lot. So the understanding of the ethical and the legal issues are very much important. Then next aspect is, of course, medical and therapeutic area knowledge, the knowledge of drug development process, pharmacology, drug safety, and I will tell you when we will be interacting in details about the codes of working for medical writers, then technical guidelines, and sometimes the statistics. See what happens that these days it is also if you are into the intense medical writing job, then it is assumed that you should have the you should be able to apply the statistical test. If you're not able to apply the statistical test, at least you should have the great understanding that to get the outcomes from such type of data, which type of statistical tool to be used. And once you are getting that data, what does that data tries to say? That means interpretation of the statistically analyzed data. This is also the skill which is required by the medical writers. And I must say that sometimes most of couple of people, they move to the data analytics department. They started with the medical writing and then they move to the data analytical department because they have to work hand in hand with the medical writers to get the 100% outcomes. We have to do lots and lots of the subgroup analysis, and then lots and lots of 3D analysis, then interpreting that analysis. Everything is the part of medical writing, and everything is to be known by the medical writer. If you are not doing the statistics, I must say you should have a good understanding for statistics as far as data interpretation of huge clinical data is needed. Then I am telling you about the types of medical writings and core areas of medical writings. We must broadly categorize it into two types of the writings. The one is the intense type of medical writing, and another one is the which involves 50% of the creative writings. In the medical communications, lots and lots of things will come. It can be a blog, it can be a science newsletter, it can be a magazine article, it can be the medical marketing related documents. Everything, it comes in the medical communications. And regulatory writings, or most of the times, they are very, very voluminous reports. They may start with some 20 pages, and they may go to some 2000 or maybe sometimes up to 10,000 pages of voluminous reports. If it is a periodic report, you keep on updating the data related to that thing, and then you keep on analyzing the previous data and then joining the new data in those reports. Those voluminous documents, they are of intense types, and they are of highly researched types, and they comes under the regulatory types of the writing. So the core areas of medical writing, it involves different types of documents. As I have explained, it involves medical journalisms like newspaper and magazine articles. It involves medical education content, which is one more area I must say is the subject expert. So as I said that that the handbooks, the textbooks, they have to be upgraded with time. I have told you the word called CME, continuous medical education. So the medical writers, what they have to do, they have to find out the findings that has been approved in the last 5 years, and those findings are being translated. That's what we called as the evidence-based practice, EBP. Evidence-based practices is the primary thing that has been required, that has been followed by the global medical fraternity. So what do we mean by this continuous medical education? All your handbooks, all your textbooks has to be upgraded based upon the research findings that has been published, right? You have to talk about new drugs, you have to upgrade the mechanisms. So that subject matter experts, these also the creation of the content related to the handbooks, textbook, this is also the part of the medical writing. So another form is publications and presentations. I have already told you, journals, articles, manuscripts, abstracts, posters, presentations, conference meetings, then the round table conferences. These all such things, they are needed for the policy making as well. You can be the part of some of the government programs also, because what government has to do, they are preparing the national health policies, they are revising the policies each and every year. How those policies are developed? These policies are developed based upon the epidemiological data that the ICMR and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, in case of our India, I am talking about, these agencies are collecting the data throughout the year. They will be analyzing that data, and based upon those data, they are deriving the guidelines, the national healthcare policy, and also they will be looking into the other countries, that what models the other countries are following, what are the steps they are taking to help out their citizens. So all these this social related projects, I must say the social healthcare sciences projects, they are also the part of medical writing, and they need the medical writers. Now I have highlighted certain kind of the research documents. These documents are the part of regulatory writing, or I must say that these are the part of the clinical trials writing. And we all will be talking about this, the informed consent forms, study proposals, research proposals, then as I said, periodic study reports, then the common technical documents. Everything will come in case of medical writing, in case of regulatory writing, and these are very much the part of these our Henry Harvin modules. All these documents we will be discussing in great detail if you are coming with us. So what are the steps of medical writing? Get familiar quickly, write well and with flair, know your audience for whom you are writing, project management skills, and the forward thinking skills. So let me tell you about the program features for the Henry Harvin. What the medical writing course offers you: it is offering you 16 hours of live training sessions, 12 boot camp sessions on monthly mode, the membership of Henry Harvin Writing Academy, engaging assignments and projects. You will be giving opportunity to work as interns also. You have to work on lots and lots of projects to gain the internship certificates. On completing the program, you will learn the requisites of medical writing. You will be able to analyze, interpret, and present biomedical scientific data in the required format and good writing skills. You will be able to write grammatically correct reports. You will be able to prepare regulatory, safety, and publication documents, as well as educational and communication material related to health and healthcare products. You will be able to understand the medical terms, the knowledge of drug development process, the knowledge of preparation of regulatory documents, safety documents, and understanding the research methodologies. So I'll focus on the program details. You can see that the training fees, self-paced videos, assignments and projects, if taken individually, they actually cost you 31,992. But if you are taking this program, you are getting everything with all practice sessions, not only just learning, it's all about practicing by paying the 12,500. If you want to register, we have our upcoming batch. It will be starting on 22nd of May, that's tomorrow, and another batch on 13th June. So you can call us at these 3 numbers, or you can email us, and there is a link. Through this link, you can also, enroll yourself directly. So guys, I'm slowly moving towards the ending of this webinar. By this webinar, my main motive was to showcase the opportunities available for a medical writer. If you have a degree, any biological degree, you can easily transform your degree into the skill-based writing, and that will help you out to enter into the world of medical writing in the full-time mode as well as in the freelance mode also. You will be getting something, but you need to develop the skills, guys. I must say that medical writing in any form, it is an intense job, it is a beautiful job, and it will never leave you, I must say it will never leave you empty. You will be always super busy with such type of the job. I hope, guys, that through this webinar, I may be able to tell you about the different aspects of the medical writing. If you take this course, you will be able to understand more and more types, what are the formats that is used in case of the medical writing, and the biggest thing is that it's not just the theory. Through the practice sessions, you can actually apply the skills, you can actually practice those skills that is required for a medical writer. So I hope, guys, you enjoyed this session, you liked this session, and see you, most of you. Together we will be spending more hours, 16 hours, and probably the more practice sessions. So with this, I am ending up the session, guys, and I am hopeful that we will be working together. We will be creating a great medical writing team together.